Well, hello there, and welcome to a new week. Hey, this week I got a great question asking about the new children's book that I am just now finally publishing. The question was, what is a pourquoi story? It says in my title, How the Ladybug Got Her Spots, a pourquoi story by Melissa Webb. So it's a great question. What is that? And I thought today would be a perfect day to do two things. I'm going to teach you what is a pourquoi story, and I even have a bonus for you. Oh, yes. How about a free lesson? You could start using this and create a pourquoi in your writing lesson plans with your child. Let me tell you about it. So, what is pourquoi? Well, it's actually a French word pronounced pourquoi, and it simply means the word why. Okay, so that's pretty simple, yes? The other thing I really want people to know is that a pourquoi story is a creative narrative. It's a chance to be imaginative, and it's explaining why something is the way it is. Now, these are also known as origin stories or even referred to as folk tales. We can take a look at some. So these are books you maybe have seen: How Giraffe Got Such a Long Neck, How the Tiger Got His Stripes, and of course, my new book coming out, How the Ladybug Got Her Spots. Now, they're not always cute animal stories, often they are, but sometimes they explain things, especially in the folk tale area. There are some Nigerian stories and even Native American stories. There's a Cherokee story about why the Milky Way is the Milky Way. Some stories may even have a moral, but they don't have to. The main idea is that a pourquoi story is going to explain why something is the way it is. And by the way, if we haven't met, my name is Melissa Webb, and a lot of what I do is centered around children. Yes, I am a teacher and I am an author. I'm also a mother of 3 boys. If we haven't met, I just wanted to introduce myself and make sure that we now know each other. So I wanted to tell you 3 things specifically about the pourquoi story. Number 1, it's a narrative. Now, there are 3 styles of writing or genres that students must learn, and narrative is one of them. So teaching the pourquoi is just one way to teach the narrative, and I might add a very fun way. A pourquoi is also an imagined story. These are not true. They are just fun and imaginative. They're an opportunity to become creative in telling a story. And this is something that I think is really important. I have actually had people say, "Oh, you wrote a story about ladybugs getting their spots from a little boy adding dots?" I mean, that's not even true. And I just say, you're right. It's not true. It's imaginative. And that's something that's important to remember about narrative stories. They can be real, but they can be imagined. And it's so important that we are allowing our children to have fun and imagine. Now, the third thing I want you to know is that a pourquoi has a very important purpose, and that is to entertain the reader. I really want students to understand that when they write, there's a purpose for doing so. If they are writing a narrative, that purpose is entertainment. I have found through teaching writing for many years, decades in fact, that young writers are more successful when they understand the purpose for writing, right? How many of you have been told, hey, we're going to be writing a book report, but you don't really understand why? What's the purpose? So by making sure that our children understand the purpose for why they're writing, in this case, a narrative, then they're going to know the point is to be entertaining. Now, I do have a bonus lesson, as I promised. So how could you get your child started in writing their very own pourquoi? I like to teach children the SWABS method. Now, this actually stands for 4 words: somebody, wanted, but, so. And I'm going to give you an example based on the book that I wrote. Somebody, a young boy, is befriending this ladybug. And what did he want? Well, he wanted to see her the following day because they just had so much fun together. But She had hundreds of identical family or friends or family members, so he couldn't tell her apart. What did he do? He inks her up with those little black spots. That way he can tell her apart. Now, see, just simply by doing this little brainstorm ahead of time, getting our ideas flowing is going to lead to now, how can I make this more descriptive? How can I add in some excellent language and really paint the picture? A lot more details will go into the story, but we always want to start with brainstorming. What's the gist of the story? Now, what you'll notice, if I'm going to step this up a little bit, a lot of pourquois or imagined narratives, even real narratives, will follow this pattern and then repeat it. So do you see here where I have somebody, right? And then I have wanted, I have but, and so. Whoops. So, well, it's not letting me do it. How about this way? No. So, now what do you notice? I do it again. I have another but and another so, and this can go on and on and on, because in the origin story that I created, he does ink her red shell with black spots, but it doesn't stop there. Remember, my origin, my pourquoi, is explaining why all ladybugs have these black spots. So I needed to add in that all of the friends and family members notice this, realize what a great guy he was, and they too want to have these dots. So, and this is the final one for my story because I'm doing the pourquoi, this is how they all came to be spotted bugs. All right, does that make sense? Great. Okay, it's time for you to write on, my friends. Hey, if you want more tips and tricks, I want you to know that you can find me right here. I do have the YouTube channel, so be sure to subscribe. But you can also check things out over at my website, writeonweb.com. I look forward to helping you and your child embrace the fun that great writing can bring. Just reach out to me if you have any other questions or suggestions for future videos. I am more than happy to create what you need. Right on, my friends.